Cook Neilson was raised in Wilmington, Delaware in the 1950s. His first two-wheeler was a Vespa scooter. He went straight from the Vespa all the way up to a Harley-Davidson Sportster. Neilson ran his Sportster at local drag racing events, and before long his street bike had morphed into a full-fledged fuel dragster. His moto-journalism career started with a few submissions on drag racing for publications like The Enthusiast, Harley-Davidson's monthly magazine, and Cycle World. In 1967, Gordon Jennings hired Neilson right out of college. Jennings soon moved to Car and Driver, and at the age of 26, Neilson suddenly found himself editor of the world's largest motorcycle magazine. His first move was to hire Phil Schilling, who was teaching at the University of Wisconsin. Schilling also happened to be a motorcycle enthusiast, racing mechanic, and most importantly for cycle, a gifted writer. Neilson got interested in road racing partially as a result of conducting road tests on race courses. He bought a Ducati GT and honed his skills by riding the mountain roads north of Los Angeles. In 1973, he rode his Ducati in a club race at Riverside International Raceway. He finished 9th out of 36 riders, but says that sounds better than it was because he got lapped by Reg Pridmore and Steve McLaughlin in the 10-lap race. In 1974, Neilson moved up to a racier Ducati SS 750. By the time the AMA Superbike Series was launched in 1976, the Ducati they had nicknamed Old Blue was up to speed, and Neilson finished third in the inaugural series race and finished the season tied for third in the final standings. Neilson saw there was room for improvement. As Schilling continued to hone the bike, Neilson took part in every club event he could. Their efforts paid off, and Neilson won the 1977 Daytona Superbike race by 28 seconds over the runner-up. Despite missing a couple rounds, he was second in the final point standings, just 3 points behind Pridmore, who repeated as the Superbike Series champ. After the '77 season, Neilson retired from racing, and just 3 years later, he resigned from the magazine he'd helped build into the most widely read in the history of the sport. He moved to Vermont and started a commercial photography business.